Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Reality Woody. How you doing? And this is going to be my episode recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 17. Now, my overall rating of the season it wasn't that bad. I give 5 stars. As you know, I'm going to give it 3 stars. Even though there was an unfair advantage to the other ladies. And, you know, Brit, she came in like a wrecking ball. And now all of a sudden, they recognized how wrong it was for her to threaten people. I don't want no whips and chains. You can't break me down. You can put your loving on me, baby. So, excuse me, let's get right on into it. What's happening how is that Lundy's funeral it's afoot. And RIP. And Phaedra is going to plan the funeral because she's a funeral director. Didn't I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all was the biggest fraud schemes and scammers? Who? What professions? Those soft talking ass funeral directors that don't give two shakes of a rattlesnake's ass about you or your family. They collect that almighty dollar. Dollar bills, y'all. Dollar bills, y'all. Dollar bills. They have a strange, I guess you have to have a strange relationship with death when you're a funeral director. But this right here is insanity because it seems like I know most funeral directors that I meet, I'm like, these little motherfuckers morbid as hell. But Sandra is just like, she's two of the worst things. Lawyer and a funeral director. Ugh, scandalous. I tell you, just scandalous. So Portia is a member of those those groups of people because all those people are morbid and nasty, were cunning, just nasty. So we sit down and we discuss the funeral, how we want to do things, and we eat, and it's time to take a sip. We find out that Lauren was on the phone with London when she was having her stress. Yeah, I can only imagine. Because I know, like, probably a situation where she probably couldn't breathe. Usually that's what it means when somebody's under stress or distress when they're about to pass. So, but she passed a couple of hours later, so they must have worked on it. So everybody's assuming something with the heart, and that's what I'm going to assume as well, or maybe a stroke or something like that, because those are the only things that I could think of that cause immediate stress. So as we are discussing and planning the funeral, we notice that there's butterflies. And, well, they say, well, you know what? That must be a sign because I've been seeing butterflies in a lot of different places. And so Phaedra with her soft talk and her, when I say soft talk, I mean you scheming up on something and you still scandalous, right? And you conniving and you manipulative. I know what we should do. And it's very, very sad moment of bereavement with my business Bob and my Bob's Bobby. I think we should have a butterfly release. A butterfly release. Oh my Jesus. That is a very good idea, says Portia. So, what happens to the butterflies? Do they come back? Then Lauren and Phaedra look at each other. Now, what's the best way we can tell this dummy that they don't come back? They look at each other and search for answers. And then Phaedra said, well, darling, the butterflies aren't trained. You remember how she had to soft talk her through the Underground Railroad, but it's a hint of sarcasm in her voice? Bingo, right there. Next, we have Angie's session. And she goes over all the issues that she has with Charles and how she's stressed out over the properties and they sunk so much money in it. And she's finding out different things about the group that are, causing her stress as well. Surprising things, which you're going to find out later. Now, remember, this is the season finale, so we can't let on to a lot. But and she goes into a lot of things about Charles and his personality. He's handsome, he's tall, he's rich, he was in the NBA. So all these things attract women. Women like PORSHA, because I ain't attracted to his ass. Like I said, Charles ain't ever been one of my favorite anything. I was back there when he was the enforcer. I taka there. And I'm a boom boom down. Who knows what he was saying? Think he was saying informal, but hell, enforcer will work. So now it's time for the showcase. And we're at the showcase, and Cynthia is there in all her green, and then Angie comes in with her form-fitting dress, looking beautiful as usual. Baby, when I tell you that it was so much egg on phony face, because usually the special guests in the room with the guests, the actual guests, when they're on Watch What Happens Live, they usually suck up to the housewives, right? So when Andy asked Dustin Ross, who was his MVP, and he said Angela. He said Angela Oakley, without a doubt. That damn face. She had that smile. That Charlie Brown smile. You know how it goes up and then it goes down slowly, like, what the fuck he didn't disrespect me like this. Oh yeah. You ain't his favorite. Nor are you mine. So here we are at the performance. How many things can I say about this performance? Now, people are saying that yes, she can sing, and some people are actually mad at Drew for throwing shade at her. Not I said the cat. Not I said the cat. She should have ragged all over. As a matter of fact, she should have went in hard. She said, I'm coming in to see if the mic gonna be on. And she performs and she cracks on some of the crackations and on some of the songs. And Drew says, the mic was on, but maybe it should have been off just a little bit. She could have stood for a little more rehearsals and could have. Did she lie? No, she didn't. So we see all the outfit changes, and one of them she looks like she's wrapped in a sheet and it was ripped around the edges. She gets to the piano and she has a Prince moment. Damn it. And Miss Pat brings out the baby. And the baby said, me and my mama, we sang in the shower. And Miss Pat said, oh girl, I told you not to say that out in public. So we get to the back, and I remember Cynthia's already gone. So we get to the back, and we are discussing Angela's gala. And Angela said, you all invited, but now I realize who could possibly brought Marcus. Because remember, in the last episode, Marcus cheers to the woman who's getting cheated on, and that woman is Angela. And because remember, she went over all these things that Charles does to her in her session. She talked about how he cheated on her, how she left them, and how they came back together, and now she pretty much feels like she has to defend her marriage all the time. So as they're around the round table talking about what a wonderful job SHEMEA did, here comes Rick. Well, I guess she did okay. I mean, she was okay. I'll give her an E for effort. Now, how would I rate SHEMEA singing? For that moment, I will rate her singing a 3. Again, here we go. Drew has the stage presence. Drew, and that may be why Candace didn't want Drew on tour with her hair, because in the words of Miss Nene Lee, she got the identity, in my opinion. So when she talks about the gala, she's like, yeah, I want you guys to get on your social medias and invite your followers and ask them for donations and things like that. And so Britt says, well, some of us has to buy our followers. And then Kelly looks at her like, bitch, I know you ain't talking to me. And she said, oh yeah, I'm talking to you. Somebody bought their followers. Child, buy. I didn't have to buy no followers. Did you buy yours? And then she says, well, maybe we should tell how much we should give because, some people don't know. Child, everything's get ugly. Here go an unnecessary argument between Britt and SHEMEA. So SHEMEA says when she comes back there, she gets her flowers from unknown Gerald. And she's in her mismatched leg stockings. And she tells Britt, did you tell the girls that me and even after me and PORSHA's discussion that I've been talking about, you have been talking about her to the ladies. I have not. How dare you? And then she says, but you're lying. And then that's when they go with the child shit. Duh. Britt says, you know what you did last summer. You down to Miami drinking and throwing those shots, and you should have been at home with your baby. Y'all didn't hear this part, but I did. It makes me question if it was even real. What in the fuck do you think she was talking about when she said it makes me question if it was even real? That is the implication that the baby isn't sick. So indirectly, in my opinion, I have to side with SHEMEA there, which is what I tweeted, is that that is the implication that there's nothing really wrong with the baby, in her opinion. Because if she had when they had the layover, if she was tossing up shots instead of going straight home to her baby, then maybe the baby wasn't as sick as it was. Now, do y'all have questions about this sick baby? Absolutely. Because like I said, if there's Mr. Gerald, nanny, sisters, and mama at the Great Hall, if all these people are there, how come this baby is in a cold room, which, like I said, you can only have a room that's sterile in a home that big and have some kind of coolness in there? Because with the exception of vaporizers and stuff like that to open you up when you have mucus, normally hospital rooms are cold. Now, I had a child that had to go on a vent when he had an asthma attack when I was a social worker. That room was warm because they were trying to pump air into his lungs, and they had him under that vent, under that tent. I meant to say tent, to keep all the cold air out. But normally in hospitals, that's the only time they warm you up is when you have mucus problems or lung issues. And then this baby, she has a multitude of different things going on, but her main issue is what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing is germs. And the best way to keep a sterile environment in a home is cool, circulating air. So I'm still lost on them. But anyway, she told her, put some clothes on. You're a streetwalker. Don't bring up my child. But I'm not. I'm just saying, if your child was that sick, and then you know what else? You calling me a streetwalker, and you are out here sleeping with other men, SHEMEA. And you're married. Oh, girl, she could throw that marriage up in somebody's face like real quick. Then she said, in confessional, SHEMEA says, I've been what did she say? I was I've been accused of being cheating on Gerald since that cat was a kitty. And you know that was a long, long time ago. Nobody got that. Nobody caught that. She was caught the brother out. But you know, that's been the who is this hoe? Now everybody is seeing what Kenya was saying. So I'm gonna go back to that again. So Britt, she has a strange, weird meeting with her husband on a private jet. I don't even talk about that because I don't even understand. What as running the great Ronnie DeVoe says, placement. What? And Candy, you don't tell me about placement because y'all are opening up for us. Okay, Mr. Ronnie DeVoe legendary, tell your wife. I had to do it. Please. So in the next scene, we have Dum Dum Breathy. Dum Dum Breathy. So Ralph, he in a dramatic call to Drew. May I come back upstairs from the basement? So the monster, the hunchback, comes upstairs. It's not ugly. It's beautiful. Drew, my love, can you tell me how we got to this place? And Drew says, I don't know. But I would never keep your children from you. These are your children as well. Now, here's again what the fuck I mean by women having to acquiesce to the men. Because they're stupid. Did you see that? He plays mental gymnastics with her and she lays it down flat for him. Look, Ralph, these are your kids. I want you to be in their lives. What I really want is for you to get the fuck out the basement. And leave me the hell alone, hunchback. Leave me alone. So then we get over to Britt's house and it's time for us to have a nice dinner. And she again plays mental gymnastics with her family. And she goes over the fact that they hadn't spoken in years and they didn't really get along with Mike too well because, you know, they got married during COVID. And nobody really knew that they were married. Okay. Britt either hadn't been married to that man for 5 years or they have been married for 5 years and her family. Nope. See, that's what she lied. Placement. Shout out to Ronnie DeVoe. Look, y'all. If we go back, you can recall that the reason why the sister didn't like Mike in the first place is because he too damn clingy. So maybe Mike was too damn clingy and the family distanced themselves from her. Hell if I know. But everybody's at the table. Another RIP goes out to Britt's grandmother. And she jumps up and makes an announcement. Oh, I'm so glad we're all here. I love you guys so much. I have an announcement. And she pretends like she's pregnant. Oh, we're about to get a baby. Nah, just kidding. I just want y'all to give me all the attention because I deserve it. But no, we're going to proceed with the ceremony. Who gives a shit? What you should have done was showed up at that damn real trashy Brit. So now it's time for the gala. What we all been waiting for, right? So the gala is nice. Beautiful setup. Nice hall. Minimal decorations, but it's for a good cause, right? And our goal is $50,000. So we start passing out the awards. Porsha gets an award for her grandfather's foundation. Now, the involvement with Porsha in the foundation, if you all have watched Porsha's Family Matters, is that Portia's ass is very minimally involved with the foundation. It seems that Lundy and the Williams side of the family is more involved. You know, they don't care for dicks for dollars. They liked Lauren's mother. Dicks for dollars, they knew was a manipulative hoe like her daughter. Oh, well. The kind that takes husbands from wives. Because the possibility was the possibility that Dixon Dawes went over to Mr. Williams' house and showed her teeth to every guy she met. Because that's the way. I didn't say it. I did not say it. Only thing I said was Dixon Dawes Darlene. That's the only thing I called her. But if you go back and look at Auntie white dress, and I can't think of her name, but I fell in love with that lady. The lady looked just like London. If you go back and look at that video, she implied that that's how Dixon Dollars got her brother. Go back and look at it. Go back and look at Portia's Family Matters. That's probably why she never had that side of the family back on TV, with the exception of Mom. They was airing Diane's ass out. Okay? So, anyway. So now it's time for the setup, right? Everybody's curious as to why Porsha got this award, but I think she got it because she was there representing Hosea Hound's Foundation when Lundy couldn't, you know what I'm saying? And then it was like, to me, in lieu of Lundy being gone. And she breaks down. Y'all look. Porsha has given us her fake tears since 2013. So it's all a miss for me. Even though she could have been being very, very serious, I can't take her seriously. That's what it is on that. And I see it with the book. I see it. So Drew finally gets there because Drew is always late. Drew is always late. If you know, you know. Got that from the Braxtons. That was the song they made up to talk about Tony's ass. I sing the same song to my sister. Because Gloria is always late. So Drew goes get Marcus. And Marcus, he shows up on the scene and he's very soft-spoken. And Charles peeps him from around the room. Motherfucker, I know you ain't ever in my gal. You better get your ass out of here before I kick your ass. Wait a minute. I brought him here. Just 1 second. I need him. I'm about to get everything straightened out. But in the meantime, between time, Charles people from around the corner, Angela's over there giving them the 411 and playing Clue as to who she think may have been the person who ratted Charles out. You know what I'm saying? So Charles still going out. So we got to stop Charles from showing his man. Baby, when I tell you he acting a fool. So Angela come back to the group. She goes down the road. She said, now I do find it strange that you, tossing up drinks with old boy and invite him to your thing. Well, it was a random event. And sometimes when you bring people in the public, that's what happens. But I didn't invite him. So Britt, I thought it could have been you. Now I said the cat. I'm a married woman. So do. Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar? I stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Who, me? Yes, you. Then who? Not me. Brett stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Who, me? Yes, you. Not me. Then who? Phaedra. Phaedra started cooking from the cooking jar. Who, me? Not me. Yes, you. Yes, you. It was you. You stole the cooking from the cooking jar. God damn. Marcus come back. And Marcus say, yes, Phaedra. God, Father. You know the inner workings of Athens / Atlanta. So you spread your evil from town to town and city to city in the Georgia area. And it was you. You know I have the envelope. What? Who? What envelope? How dare you say envelope? I have no clue. I don't even know this woman. Angela says to Phaedra, yes, it was you. He told me everything. Why, Phaedra, when you know I tried to like you? I like you too. I mean, why would I have to do, what reason would I have to do this to you? I mean, we just met. So we go down the line for everybody in the group. And Kelly says, how dare. I think it was Britt, because you know she's popping SHEMEA on the arm. Because, I mean, it's good reason to think it was Britt. Oh, by the way, I'll go back to that because that wasn't an important thing. But I'll go back to it. So then she was like, I just really think it was Britt. I mean, she had motive. I thought it was Britt too at first. But then I said to myself, say, huh? Phaedra is the one who insisted that Charles was a cheater and did not acknowledge Miss Angela. Now, Angela admits that she wasn't acknowledged properly. I knew I should have wrote that down, that scene with Kelly and her children. I knew I was going to end up forgetting, and I was like, I know to put it in right after Drew. The incident with the basement monster. But hey, I'll go back to it. Like I said, not very important. So then Angela was like, are you jealous? What reason do I have to be jealous of you? Is it the ring? Is the marriage that you want? Now, a lot of people said that Angela played herself about the marriage that she wants. Do you think that Phaedra don't want that kind of marriage? She don't care if a man cheating on her as long as he rich like Charles and bring home the dollar bills, y'all. The underworld of Athens, the Godfather. Then, PORSHA in confession. I think she set up herself. It was a scheme and a plot set up by Todd to come to you with the bullshit. Shut up, the mama Bertha, auntie Bertha. Oh, where she is, Candace's cousin mom. So I guess I could call her Mama Bertha. And she is Patrick's grandma. So there you go on that. I learned that from Candy and the Gang. So, they're all sitting there trying to figure out where the markers come from and why did Phaedra do it. Now, deep down inside, I know it was Phaedra. And you can't tell me any different. Nobody is gonna tell me any different. So then, out the blue, here comes another argument between SHEMEA and Britt. Britt started with me. Now, you know, she's sitting there looking like a damn broke ass little Red Riding Hood, or should I say little Black Riding Hood. Not saying anything about her color or complexion or calling her dark skin. I'm saying black as in the race of people. Because I know some sensitive folks out there. Oh, you color struck yourself. Ain't not one color struck bone or colorist bone in this your body. Ew. Not the way I come. And I got two little dark skinned chocolate princesses over here. No. And the way I take up for dark skinned women, ain't no way. No way. Ain't no way. Now back to let's roll it out of bed. And go to Kelly's house. And even though I said that was an important thing, the only reason why I brought it up is because I wanted to talk about Marks. Now she gets the girls up and she said, twinsies, so cute. I said, Mom, you got coffee, bro. And then they talk about how he's dogged her and how she couldn't get the Sand Springs location open. So that's what's important because her maid asked her, my little maid asked her what was going on with that. I don't know if that was her maid or not, but she's giving her some kind of assistant and maybe a sister. I don't know. And so she was talking about how, she can't understand how assets get so wrapped up and then involved in divorce. And I just wanted to say, now this part with Kelly being the flip-flopping hoe she is, I do feel for her there. She says, it's hard raising 4 daughters by herself, and I can relate. And this man is so cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He don't even want to have anything to do with his children because she's the primary custodial parent. It is weird. I think it's more so about her getting more money because she got a little excess for the money. I think that's what it is. But back to the game. So everything gets calmed down once Britt and SHEMEA had an argument. SHEMEA said she wants to knock the holy hell out of Britt. Britt, you know what? I'm gonna give though Britt and all her whips and chains. Was Marcus at the game? That might have been why she had. Now you remember when she got into it with Ken, she wanted to find her husband. Was he at the game with her? She get brave when she around him. Even though she didn't bring up the whips and chains, but I tell you who did bring them. The very person who was a Judas King. Nobody could remember if she talked about the whips and chains. No, everybody had amnesia. Everybody windmilling for Britt. Because she's the one who got to stay on the show. Now all of a sudden we got a memory and we heard people say, you threatened people with whips and chains. Oh, but when y'all was kissing up, sucking up, Buttercup to bottom row of teeth that's jacked up and bad nose job, talking through her nose. Y'all were cool with her threatening folks with whips and chains. So we get the wrap up of what's going on with the people, and here comes PORSHA. 5 months later. And 5 months later, she's exercising. Dixie Dolls come over in her high heel boots, and they toast on how they done got over. Oh, how I got over. How I got over. How we got over. How we got over. We got over. Yes, how we made it over. And they slept back. And PORSHA's divorce is on ICE. Why? Because the folks that came around there and picked up her husband. And that, my friends, is going to end this episode. Come on in. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. Share the video. Why? Because sharing is indeed caring. And tell me what you think about that little 5 months later. At the end, at the very, very end, was that PORSHA just wanted to show off her house? Was it that her and Dixie Dollars said to themselves, hey, we got to show this because we got to show people that we are still in the match? Or do you think that Dixie Dollars and PORSHA said to themselves, we got to show other bitches our methods? But no. Couldn't be the last one because we all know that she don't want to show other women her methods because we will threaten to sleep with that lady husband. Like I said, come on in, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell button. And as I do, when I close, I'm going to jump them up to 7.